Hello, everyone. John Gonzalez here from MLive.com and Michigan's Best. How are you doing, everyone? It is time for Beer of the Week, and I'm a little rusty. It's been a few weeks since I've done one of these. Amy Sherman's been carrying the boatload there because she loves to do it. She does a great job with it. But you get me this week, and we have some special guests joining us from Big Lake Brewing. It's Travis and Keith. How you guys doing?
Good.
Well, welcome to Beer of the Week. You guys are based in Holland, Michigan. Big Lake Brewing there in beautiful downtown Holland. Off the air, I was just saying to you guys, how did you survive those storms? Because, it was pretty rough yesterday.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. I was actually brewing here in the pub, and we've got a couple of windows facing the lake. And we watched it blow in, and it got pretty hairy. That's for sure. The signs on the road were pushing over a little bit.
Yeah, I had about 8 or 9 trees down in my neighborhood yesterday. So, rough storm.
I'm glad you guys survived. I was hoping to head out there. Do you guys have a patio or a deck there at the brewery? Because I've not been to downtown Holland to your location.
Yeah, we've got a full back patio, about 80 seats, couple fire pits, grass, trees. I would like to say the nicest patio in Holland for sure. It's a real beer garden, which I think there's not a lot of those here in Holland. Everything survived. None of the umbrellas blew away. All the trees are still standing. It's looking really good out there right now. So awesome. Great day to come out and enjoy a beer out there.
Yeah, I can't wait to get out there and check out your place because, like I said, I have not done that as of yet. All right, let's. I don't like to beat around the bush here. Let's get right to it because I love this week's Beer of the Week. Let's crack it open right now. And Travis, tell us what we're about to drink.
So I'm going to actually turn that over to Keith. He's a lot more eloquent than I am with the words.
Oh, Keith, tell me what's in my hand here.
Swing Juice IPA.
All right.
So how that beer actually came about is we've got a group of guys here at the brewery that love golfing, love beer, of course, and wanted to have a local beer geared towards the golfers here in Michigan. So we had a difficult time actually coming up with the perfect name for that beer. And I got a random text message from a buddy while he was in his golf league, and he was like, Swing Juice. Every time you're having a bad round, what do? You wait for the beverage cart to come around, and you grab a beer, and it's supposed to help with your swing. So I don't think that's 100% true, but so that's kind of how it came about. The beer in front of you, as far as style-wise, so we wanted something that's very flavorful, but yet not too high of an ABV, and something perfect to crush on the course on a hot day. So this is an IPA. It's a juicy IPA. It's got Amarillo and Citra hops in it. It's 5.5%. Again, great nose on it, very flavorful, but kind of like no back end, so you can just crush it on a hot day.
So for being a juicy or a New England style IPA, it's pretty clear.
So it's definitely not a New England.
My mistake. So. I was like, okay, well that makes more sense.
Yeah, that would be, if that's a New England, we should probably go back to the drawing board because that would be a little different. No, and that was the thing. Like when we were talking about it, so we definitely like toying with new ideas out here. I'm sure you'll see that with our releases. We've got new beers dropping. It seems like every week right now. And Keith had this great idea, and like I said, we're all golfers here, and what we didn't want was like a 9% New England IPA on hole 7 on an 80-degree day, right? You drink one of those, and you just want to go home and get out of the sun. So the idea behind this is it's something like Keith said, drinkable, sessionable. You can have 3 of them on the course and still get in your car and be fine to drive, right? It's not going to get you drunk. It's not going to weigh you down. It's supposed to just be a good, flavorful drink to turn to, if your golf game's needs a little adjustment, we'll say.
Well, I think what threw me off a little bit is when we called it Swing Juice, right? And you think of juicy IPAs, and you might think of New England style IPAs. So that's what threw me off a little bit. Full disclosure there, because I had my share.
We've got some juicy hops.
You do.
We've got these just sitting here. Keith brought them out. So we definitely definitely have some big juicy options. I feel like our New England IPA game has gotten really good over the last year. Our brewer he's brewing right now over at our production facility, but yeah, if you guys want to go for something big and dirty, we call them around here, we've got those options.
Let's
and one that's a little
before we get to those other ones, because I do want to run by them. I've been impressed. I was on your website yesterday and the day before of just how much you're brewing out there right now and what your canning is available. We'll get to those in a second, but let's talk about this real quickly. Our beer of the week, the Swing Juice. On the aroma, I'm getting some citrus, right? A little grapefruit, maybe. What are you guys getting?
It's that it's that Amarillo. So you get it's almost like a bitter orange kind of, like the orange peel, essentially, like the orange zest. I think that's what you get from a lot of the Amarillo in it.
All right, and let's. You guys are already ahead of me, so I'll try this myself. Oh wow, I see what you mean. There's tons of flavor. Sometimes some of these beers won't lend themselves to flavor, but this does remind me of a juicy flavor, like a New England in a sense, but a clear New England. How about that?
Yeah.
We'll stick with IPA on this one. So we've been toying with session IPAs for a long time. This still has the ABV where it's not necessarily in that session IPA category, but close. So for me, Amarillo is very distinctive. You get a lot of that orange peel, the grapefruit in the nose, but we do use a lot of mosaic here in the brewery, and that's what we were using for both our flavor additions and our dry hop. So you get that like bouquet of the flower flavor essentially when you drink it. So it's not just single dimensional all Amarillo, because it does have that mosaic side of it, which is used in most all New England IPAs right now. So you still get a similar flavor profile without all the backbone to go along with it.
Well, I really appreciate you describing that, because that's exactly how I feel. I mean, it's a great IPA, and there's tons of flavor there. It's not sessionable I guess it's kind of semi-sessionable, right? But it reminds me that it is definitely an IPA. Well, great job on the Swing Juice. Now, you said this does make your golf game better. Is that what you said?
It's about 50-50 for me, and I carry about a 32 handicap. So, I can't really tell.
Well, it won't make it worse. Let's put it that way.
That's a good way to put it. Won't make it worse.
Well, I will have to test it on the golf course. I haven't been golfing in a couple of years, so maybe I'll take it out on a course and do some real reporting. We'll try it out that way. As I said, I was on your website, and you guys have some great beers. You need to tell me about the Healthcare Heroes, though. I saw you had a can of that. Can you give us some background on the Healthcare Heroes beer?
Yeah. So the idea with the healthcare, we always like trying new things. We're always trying new beers. When COVID hit, we'll say, everybody felt that. We had some beer in the works. We released In This Together as a way to kind of help raise some funds for the employees that we had temporarily lay off. We had about 40 employees here at the pub alone that we had to let go. Temporarily, we're bringing them back on now, which is awesome. But we looked at, who else is experiencing hard times right now. And we've got some part-time staff that, work at the hospital, and they were those frontline workers. We do charitable donations every month here. We're all about giving back to the community. And we were talking to some of our friends that work at the hospital, and we're like, let's do something as a dedication to them. And Keith was working with some of his friends back at St. Joe, which is funny. So that's on the other side of the state. It's the hospital that both Keith and I were born at. And they came up with the name. Some of the nurses we know over at Holland Hospital helped with the design. So we teamed up with Imperial Beverage, and we're taking a chunk of the proceeds of Healthcare Heroes, and we're donating that around to hospitals, local hospitals around the state, to try to help out and really honor those people that stepped up on the front lines, we'll say, to help out during this pandemic.
And what kind of beer is that?
So that is a hazy double New England IPA. So that's a full 9%, thick, murky, big New England IPA. that's one of those, if those healthcare heroes are putting in a 12-hour shift, they go home and they have a nightcap, essentially, one of those. But yeah, it's a hazy double, as we're calling them now.
I will also test that beer on the golf course as well.
Make sure that's on the back nine right before you're done. That'll slow you down a little bit. It's a heavy hitter, we'll say.
Now, did I see correctly? Do you have a cotton candy beer?
We do.
We do. So I don't know.
Hold that up a little closer so we can see that.
So our cotton candy haze. So this is a juicy New England IPA with cotton candy added to it. So this beer was one of those beers where even Travis was like, we can't brew a beer that's cotton candy. And
Yep.
Surprisingly enough, we can't keep this beer in stock right now. So it's kind of crazy, but we have, so as far as it goes, you see it on the shelf, everyone's like, that's interesting. I want to hate it, right? But I'm going to try it out. And after you try it out, you're like, wow, it's just like cotton candy without all that sugar in my teeth and stuff. So
yeah. So John, I'm assuming you've gone to the beer festivals, right? You've gone to Winter Beer Fest, Summer Beer Fest. Brewers pull out everything that they can. They want to show off. And Zach, I kind of wish he was here right now. He's our brewmaster. He was like, we were into the flavored hazes. Our blood orange haze is our best-selling beer by far. We did mango. We've done all these different fruited hazes. And they were like, let's do something cool for summer, cotton candy. I'm like, hey, Summer Beer Fest, anything goes. Let's try it out. And then Keith and Zach came to me one day, and they're like, we got to do a 30-barrel batch of this. Let's do a big batch and see how the market likes it. And immediately I was like, no, we're not doing something like this. And after about a month of talking and convincing, I was like, all right, let's try it out. And it is literally a cult following beer at this point.
every time we've dropped a batch, it's sold through our distributor's inventory within hours. So.
Yeah. But yeah, like what Keith said too, it sounds strange in that it's a cotton candy beer, but it's one of those beers you go into it and everything about it, like, you shouldn't like. Even if you like cotton candy or you like sweet things, cotton candy and beer, those things should never go together. But then you drink it and you're just like, I still don't want to like this, but I have to because it's that good.
Well, I know I'm going to Big Lake Brewing this weekend because I've got to get more Swing Juice, obviously our beer of the week. I got to try the obviously the Healthcare Heroes, yep. And then this cotton candy beer sounds too good to pass up.
Last year's cotton candy harvest was really good too. So our cotton candy this year is extra juicy, very crushable.
All right, folks, those that are watching on Facebook, I hope they're having fun with this one. Would you try a cotton candy beer? Come on, tell me, would you? Yes or no? I mean, I'm curious. Are you like me that just wants to try this beer? I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that at some point. Now, you also have, in addition to these 3 beers we just talked about, I noticed, 10, 12 beers on tap right now, and you're canning a lot of them for pub distribution?
Yeah, so we added 6 taps during COVID, so we're up to 26 taps in the pub. And with our size, we're very fortunate to have a lot of flexibility. So some of the beers we do here at the pub, you can see behind me, we have a 7-barrel system here at the pub, 30-barrel system basically over at production. But we can do small run stuff. So if we want, we could literally take kegs from the pub and say, let's try a new beer out, brew 7 barrels of it, even 1 barrel. We have a test system over at production. We can do 1 barrel, hook that up to the canner and run 1 barrel at a time. So some of the beers that we have in the pub, we did a April Fool's joke. It was Pine Tree Haze. And within a half an hour of doing that joke, we had people showing up at the pub to buy it because we do stuff like that. So we actually did that, and that's available now at the pub. But it also enables us to do some cool stuff like small batch stuff like this, where we can brew 7 barrels of a test beer and then can it, have it available at the pub for purchase to go, and then also have it on our taps of something that is 20 cases worth of beer.
So the one Travis just showed you guys locally sourced, is coming out here in the next few weeks. And we paired up with Great Lakes hops and emergent malts, so 100% all Michigan ingredients. That'll be pub only here in a couple weeks.
I think we'll have that out in 2 weeks. And Great Lakes Hops has seen our IPA game grow over the last couple of years. So they've actually been using us as a test bed for some of their hops. So that locally sourced IPA, it's a test hop variety that was manufactured in New Zealand, grown in Ravenna, and it's actually in that tank right there, dry hopped yesterday. So we should have that in cans early next week.
That's great. Well, you guys have a great history. And Travis, if you don't mind, just a little bit of background. I know you said you opened on the north side in 2013. December of 2017, you opened downtown. What has been your philosophy? I already can guess you're willing to try anything, but what's a little bit about your philosophy there, and what are you guys all about?
Yeah, well, there's I think a willingness to have fun. It's not necessarily try anything, but we want to have fun, right? We're in this industry because we enjoy it. I mean, we serve steaks and make beer. That's not a bad profession. But ultimately, we have a very high commitment to quality, and I think that's really shown over the last couple of years. So when somebody comes out and buys your beer for the first time, it's got to be good. Because with all the beers in the market right now, if it's not, you get forgotten really quick. And if you're not somebody that's been in the market for 15 years, you're not easily forgiven by all the people coming into the market right now. So quality is job one around here. We got to make sure that the liquid's good, and then the quality of the labeling, the packaging, all the way down the line. We have this commitment to quality that I think is really shown and what's really helped escalate the growth that we've seen over the last couple of years.
How much did you brew last year?
3,300 barrels, I think.
Wow.
So I think 2019 was 3,300 barrels, which was up about 69% from the year previous, where we had 125% growth. 2018, we were one of the top 50 fastest growing breweries in the nation. And then this year, we basically doubled our capacity at our production facility and maxed that facility out, and we're currently running 100% over there.
Keith, and for those,
a significant amount of growth from where we started.
No kidding. Keith, for those that don't live in the Holland area and can't make it over there, what beers are you distributing and where are they available in Michigan?
So all the beers that we've showed you today, except for that locally sourced, are distributed at retailers throughout the state through Imperial Beverage, our statewide distributor. So any of them can be found at a shelf, your independent local retailer in Southeast Michigan, or over on this side of the state, we've got some chain distribution as well at Meyer, Spartan Nash with the D&Ws and Family Fairs. And then Bush's on the other side of the state as well is selling a lot of our beer right now. So anyone over there, if they would like to get their hands on some of that Healthcare Heroes, Bush's is a great spot over there right now. So.
Our distributor, Imperial Beverage, also has a really, I was just going to say, the Imperial Beverages website has a really good product locator. So if you are on the other side of the state and you're looking for something in particular, if you go to imperialbeverage.com and find their product locator, you can find us in any store in your region.
I believe your website's biglakebrewing.com, right, Keith?
Correct.
All right. Well, congratulations for Beer of the Week. It is Swing Juice IPA. Cheers, guys. Thanks for being on this weekend's show, Beer of the Week. Take care, guys, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you. It was fun.
Thank you.